There was once a young man who knew exactly what he needed to do, yet never did it. Every morning he promised himself, "Today will be different." But every night he went to sleep with the same regret. Days turned into months, months into years, and slowly his life began slipping away, not because he failed, but because he never truly tried. People called him lazy, but the truth was far deeper than that. His name was Ayan. He lived in a small village surrounded by golden fields and quiet mornings. From the outside, his life looked simple and peaceful. He had a caring mother, a roof over his head, and enough food to survive. But inside, Ayan carried a constant weight. He wasn't stupid. He wasn't weak. In fact, he had dreams bigger than most people in his village. He wanted to build something meaningful. He wanted to change his life. He wanted to prove to himself that he was capable. But every time he tried to begin, something stopped him. He would sit down to work, then suddenly feel tired. He would plan his day, then waste hours doing nothing. He would start something new and quit before finishing. It wasn't that he didn't want success, it was that he couldn't move toward it. One afternoon, Ayan sat outside his house, watching other villagers working in the fields. Some were older than him, some were less educated, yet they worked with discipline and focus. Ayan whispered to himself, "Why can't I be like them?" He had read books, watched videos, heard advice. Wake up early, work hard, stay focused. He knew all the answers, yet nothing changed. Every time he tried to fix his life, he ended up back in the same place, distracted, tired, and full of guilt. The more he failed, the more he began to believe something dangerous. Maybe I'm just a lazy person. And that belief slowly started to define him. As time passed, things became worse. His friends moved forward in life. Some started businesses, others found stable work. Ayan stayed behind. Not because he couldn't move, but because he didn't. Every night he lay awake, staring at the ceiling. His mind was full of thoughts. What if I never change? What if I waste my entire life like this? The fear grew stronger each day. One morning, his mother gently said, "You have so much potential, Ayan, but potential means nothing without action." Her words hurt, not because they were harsh, but because they were true. That day, something inside him broke. He realized he was not just losing time, he was losing himself. That evening, Ayan walked to the edge of the village, where an old man lived under a large tree. People rarely visited him, but those who did often returned with clarity. Ayan approached him quietly. "I need help," he said. The old man looked at him calmly and asked, "What is your problem?" Ayan hesitated, then said, "I am lazy. I know what to do, but I don't do it." The old man smiled slightly. "No," he said, "you are not lazy." Ayan looked confused. "Then what am I?" The old man pointed toward a nearby river. "Come with me," he said. They walked in silence. When they reached the river, the old man asked, "What do you see?" "Water," Ayan replied. The old man picked up a small stone and dropped it into the river. Ripples spread across the surface. "Did you see that?" the old man asked. "Yes. That is how action works," he said. "Even the smallest movement creates change." He looked at Ayan and said something that would change his life. "You are not lazy, you are overwhelmed." Ayan stood still. "Overwhelmed?" he asked. "Yes," the old man said. "You think about everything at once. You think about success, failure, future, expectations, and your mind becomes heavy." He paused. so heavy that you choose to do nothing. Ayan felt something shift inside him. The old man continued, "Laziness is not the problem. Fear, overthinking, and pressure are." Then he said, "You're trying to change your entire life in one day. That is why you fail." Ayan lowered his head. It was true. Every time he started, he expected perfection, and when he couldn't achieve it, he stopped completely. The old man picked up another small stone. "You don't need a mountain of effort," he said. "You need one small action."
The next morning, Ayan woke up with a different mindset. He didn't try to fix his entire life. He didn't create a perfect plan. Instead, he did one small thing. Just one. He cleaned his room. The next day, he worked for 30 minutes. The day after, he did a little more. Slowly, something began to change. Not overnight, not magically, but steadily. The pressure disappeared. The fear became smaller. The action became easier. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. And for the first time in his life, Ayan felt in control. Not because he worked harder, but because he stopped overwhelming himself.
Years later, people in the village noticed something different about Ayan. He wasn't the same person anymore. He was focused, disciplined, calm. When someone asked him, "How did you overcome laziness?" he smiled and said, "I didn't defeat laziness. I removed the weight that was crushing me." Then he added, "The secret is simple. Don't try to change your whole life in one day. Just take one step. Because in the end, it's not laziness that destroys most dreams. It's the belief that you must do everything at once. And the moment you let go of that belief, that's the moment your life finally begins to move."